Hi everyone, welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler, and we are going to go right into a couple of Giants running plays, which Packers are probably pretty likely to face. And this is basically what they call a power play. And anytime it's a power play, it usually means there's a guard pulling, guard or tackle or center pulling to lead for the back. So this is a very basic formation, tight ends on the right side, I formation. Falcons are in a pretty standard defense.
They're in a 4-3. And this will be a little bit different, Tom, because the Packers play a 3-4, but the blocking scheme is kind of the same.
Right.
And basically all you want to try to do is these two guards, they're the most athletic of the line. You want to try to get them out on the perimeter. And you get them behind a guy that's weighing 260 pounds, it's tough. But the key guy, Tom, is that safety, because he's going to be unblocked.
Right.
And that's what the illusion of this whole front is.
Okay, so at the snap of the ball, essentially this guy comes out this way, this guy comes out this way, these guys all block down.
Yep, blocks down there.
Tight end blocks up in there.
Right.
And he blocks here.
So there's your alley right here.
Right. So kind of show how how these linebackers react and what they could have done to make this a little bit.
Okay, the linebackers are taught to do a couple things. What you have is fast flow or slow flow. But this is a fast flow because you got to scrape, or it's called a scrape. When you see those guards pulling, you got to go. But you can't go wide. And they went wide, it was a cut lane.
Right.
You got to come around this corner really tight. And when you come out, you're going to make a pile right there. And this linebacker has to come right here flat. Because if it comes too deep, you know, it just makes another lane.
Right.
Because neither one of these guys really were blocked. They just ran so fast, they got cut back on.
Right.
And hopefully your guy, you know, your outside linebacker can make that play right here instead of a long play. You know, it could be a short play. But again, Tom, a lot of teams, they'll bypass the corner. They'll bypass the corner, and they'll come up and block your safety.
But in this case, they did not.
But in this case, they did. In this case, they didn't. He stayed on him. So these two guys blocked these two backers, and now you got, you know, Brandon Jacobson up here for a long game, and his safety just missed him.
Yeah, took a bad angle.
Took a terrible
He
angle.
didn't want any part of
Brandon
Jacobson.
You got a guy 260 running that fast. You got to try to get down on his legs and just hold on for dear life. But the linebackers, they got to make sure not to stop this. This linebacker just line up a little wider, but he wasn't, Tom. He was tucked in.
Well, first of all, when you talked about scraping, you know, it means coming right around the edge.
Right.
And what that does is maybe forces him to kind of go like that, right? And that slows him down.
Right. You can't let him go. He'll cause a pile right here.
Yeah.
So now the running back has to redirect. Well, he redirects, everybody's fast flowing, and you'll stop that play for maybe 2 to 3 yards.
Yeah. Now, if this were the Packers, I'm guessing, you know, their linebacker would be over here because they play a 3-4, and this would be a linebacker. How does that change it?
Now, you know what would change on it is now when this guard pulls, now Matthews would meet him right here. Now, there's your collision. Now, this guard has to turn up inside. Now, when that guard turns up inside, this is what we call the trash. You got bodies all piled up here. Now, the key to this is Desmond Bishop is lined up right here. Draw me a linebacker right there. Now, his scrape is more inside, and it'll be set up for A.J. Hall to make a one-on-one tackle. If he misses it, it's on to the safety, and who knows how that'll turn out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The Giants have an array of ways to run the ball. They're really well designed running plays. And another one we saw here was where they used an extra. They used 2 tight ends, and used one here.
Now, did they put a lineman at that tight end, or did they just put
They did have a lineman here.
I think it was number 63.
Right. So sometimes they'll use an offensive lineman, another tackle here.
Right.
So sometimes you have that. Then you've got a tight end here. And essentially the whole thing came down to, this linebacker was up here.
Right.
This was Victor Cruz,
Yep.
what he did. And it was Bradshaw this time. So the,
Right.
the blocking isn't all that different. You know,
Nope.
they're just sealing guys. They're coming over here. And then show exactly
Yeah, so
what happens
now,
here.
Now, and it sets up a pass off of this as well.
Actually, it was linebacker was over here, and it was a safety who came down.
Right, the safety will come down here to make that play.
Right.
And you get Victor Cruz coming in, and he's going to seal him off. And
I mean, that's a crackback block,
it's
right?
an ear hole shot.
Yeah.
But this cornerback yells crack, but you're not going to hear it in 65,000. Right. And now when you get Bradshaw on the perimeter, you know, you make that crack block, he's one-on-one with that cornerback. And against Atlanta, this cornerback came up and didn't even stop it, but he was out of the gate.
Didn't want any part of him again.
Yeah, and it's a thing about the blocking scheme. Which guy's the worst tackler in your film study?
Right.
If it's a corner, I'm going to block the safety and let the corner make the play.
If this is Sam Shields,
Yes.
they'd love to run that play.
They're going to run that play all day. He's going to make a lot of tackles. Now
he's going to have to make a lot
Yeah, he's
of
going to have
tackles.
to. Another thing they do is Victor Cruz will come here faking like he's blocking, and he'll take off, and it'll be a play action, and Manny will stand up and hit him for a bomb. And now if you're the corner, you're thinking, well, he's going there to block the safety. I got to come up and support. Play action, you step up, touchdown. And it's hard.
Yeah.
But it's the pros.
Well, and it just shows you how many more things you can do when you have a good running game.
That's
and
exactly
a good
right.
quarterback.
Yeah, you got to be patient.
So we'll, on our next feature, we're going to look at a play that the Packers designed and used in the last time and was very effective and shows kind of how McCarthy might attack them again. Okay, now we're going to look at a Packers play, and this was from the Packers-Giants meeting in December. And it's sort of one of the things McCarthy has to do is find a way to slow down that front four.
Right.
And a lot of that is deception, right? Play action,
Absolutely.
rollouts, bootlegs, anything to slow them down. And we saw this play. It was really well designed. And
Yes.
basically, what you had here was this bunch formation, and you had Driver here, Jordy Nelson here, and Tom Crabtree here.
Right.
Jennings was over here. So essentially, why don't you show us, well, I'll draw the route. Actually, you know, Driver came up here, a little bit of pivot route. Nelson came all the way up here. And then why don't you show, it was a play action fake to this side.
Right, and what happened was a play action this way, Roger reversed, and instead of bringing a guard out to protect him, this is Justin Tuck, you brought Crabtree out of the route and over to wall him off. Now that gives Rodgers time.
He ran, and he went all the
He
way
ran
over
out
here.
here, and he made just a beautiful throw that takes a while to Jordy Nelson one-on-one with the corner, and he made such a beautiful throw, and it was a great catch. But think about it. If you're the defensive end, you look out there and see a bunch where there's no crack on me because they're way out here. But if you do your film study, you know if 83 is in the game, it's either run or play action. But the Giants are maybe not that smart. But but once you get up in there, if you're a defensive end, there's no way you're looking for, you know, Crabtree to peel back on you.
Right.
Normally it's the center that peels back or the guard. But McCarthy, I mean, is brilliant. He brings in Crabtree out like it's a pass and like he's out there running around.
And he came all the way in there. And then he starts coming back after
and
Rodgers.
He got walled off.
Yeah.
And then that gives Rodgers, he has a first option, throw the ball. Second option, he can run the ball. He can do just about whatever he wants.
He had Driver crossing here for a short gain. He could have run the ball. I mean, I don't know how much he would have gotten, but the best play was that.
And we also have seen him where Jennings would come across the field and run a deep post, and he would stop and throw it back because he has the arm strength to do it.
Right.
And that's a big touchdown. You can see them playing that play. If they oversell it on this side and the safeties start to drift, start to drift a little bit, he crosses face, you can see a big play.
Yeah, and that's part of the cat and mouse now. So the next time McCarthy comes out with this formation, the Giants know what they've seen. Now this time maybe it's set up to go to Jennings.
And here's another progression off of it. When you fake the ball to Starks and Starks come out here, Crabtree bypasses him and comes into the flat and should be wide open. He's not accounted for. But all these plays take time. But what it does, Tom, it slows this rush down. Now these guys are guessing where the ball is, and they're guessing kind of what to do.
Right, and that's what you have to do. They're going to come up charging. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much they bite on play action, because do you really have to worry about Green Bay's running game?
You don't, but it's the
know.
ball handling of the quarterback. You still got to find the ball.
Right.
You know, if the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, is one of the best at ball handling, you never know where the ball is. He hides it from you. So while you're looking for it, his receivers are going deep.
Right.
That's why he's always getting guys deep. So the illusion of running the ball, you can help that by the quarterback having very good ball skills.
Right, exactly. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll be back next week.
And this is brought to you by Syndic's Market, Ballester owned and operated, and W.J. Kuhn in Oak Creek Automotive.
Thanks for joining us.